right, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Merriman?
Here.
Mr. Mattern?
Here.
Dr. Scarpone?
Present.
Fiscal Officer Ms. Morrison? Present. Solicitor Mr. Lynn?
Present.
Mayor Mike Petrella?
Present.
Administrator Mr. Kasegi?
Present.
Mr. DeStefano?
Here.
Mr. Spence?
Here.
And Mrs. Dameron.
Will everyone please stand for a moment of silence and the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, we would need a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting of June 18th, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
And Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Thank you. All right. Is there anyone wishing to speak before council this evening? Good, sir. Tell us your name. I think we all might know you, but proper protocol.
Hi, my name's Tony Morelli. I'm one of the county commissioners. Good to see everybody. My hometown, and I'm proud of what you guys are all doing here. You're doing good. I have your check for the recreation request for $15,000. I want to tell you that no one got more than that. Only one other community got that much, a city. So we did what we could. We got $430,000 worth of requests, and we took in 270 round numbers from the permissive tax. So you had a good application, and we're happy. On behalf of Commissioner Timmons and Maple and myself, I'd like to give the mayor this check for $15,000.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're allowed to come in as long as you don't punch me in the face. You're good. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Dan.
Appreciate it very much.
Good to see everybody.
Yep. You too. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak before council this evening? All right, I will turn it over. Jake, are you reading? There's Rachel. All right, I will turn it over to our solicitor for our ordinances and resolutions.
First ordinance is ordinance number 2024-37, an ordinance providing for an advance from the American Rescue Plan Act 2151 and Capital Projects Muni Tax Fund 4901 to the Dog Park Fund for the Village of Wintersville for the calendar year 2024 and declaring an emergency.
So a motion to suspend rules is required here?
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yeah.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
And Mr. Spence?
Yay. I make a motion to accept ordinance number 2024-37.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
And Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Jake, 1 second. I'll just elaborate on that, why we had to move money around. Obviously, we cannot get the capital grant money until the project was fully completed, which we did our ribbon cutting on July 1st. So that is why we had to move some money at the moment. Go ahead, Jake.
Next is resolution number 2024-38. A resolution to proceed with a levy for an additional continuing tax levy of 5 mils on each dollar of the tax valuation of the taxable property in the Village of Wintersville, Ohio, for the purpose of providing funds for all the purposes delineated in Section 5705.19J of the Ohio Revised Code, commencing for the tax year of 2024 to be first collected in the calendar year 2025 and declaring an emergency.
Motion to suspend the rules?
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Motion to approve Resolution 2024-38.
Second. Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Next is ordinance number 2024-39, an ordinance amending sections 1341.04 and 1341.05, time for abatement and of the codified ordinances of the Village of Wintersville, Ohio. And this should also be an emergency, so we'll add on there and declaring an emergency.
Okay. I make a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance number 2024-39.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay. Make a motion to accept ordinance number 2024-39.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Go ahead.
Do we need to let everybody know what that's about?
Yeah, that was the one you guys actually passed verbally at the last time about the grass, switching it to be completed within 5 days now.
Okay.
If they get a nuisance call on high grass.
And just to tack on that, it's not a change of how high the grass is or anything like that. It's just shortening the time frame on that to make sure the grass is cut expeditiously and that we call people in the court as needed.
Yeah, we were using, if you got summoned, you had your 5 days to cut the grass, and then you had a 10-day appeal period, and everybody was using the 15 days before they cut the grass. So we shortened that to, if you get summoned, you have 5 days to cut grass, and then within that same 5 days, you can appeal it.
Next is ordinance number 2024-40, an ordinance providing for adoption of the 2025 alternative budget for the Village of Wintersville and declaring an emergency.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Motion to approve ordinance 2024-40.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
All right, thank you, Jake. Well, announcement we have, obviously our summer parks program is continuing. If anyone would like to join, please take your child down to Walnut Park Monday through Friday from 9 to 1. Next on the reports and communications. Magistrate report for the month of June of 2024. City revenue was $9,988. State revenue was $2,507. Other revenue was $121, bringing the total revenue for the month of June of 2024, $12,616. Next is our police report for June of 2024. We had 158 complaints, 80 traffic arrests, 6 criminal arrests, 13 accidents, 11 cases, 17 alarm calls, 14 juvenile cases, 197 incoming calls, 1 parking violation, which is the fire lane, I believe at Kroger's, 1 vehicle impound, 2 canine requests, and 50 auxiliary hours. Next, for our code enforcement, our contractor's license, we had 12 licenses for $900 for the month of June of 2024. Permits, we had 16 for $760, bring the grand total $1,660. All right, next up, Mr. Lockhart, do you have anything this evening?
Yes.
All right, come on up.
Robert Lockhart, your representative of the village to this various agencies. Tonight I'm going to be talking about my attendance at the meetings of Steel Valley Transit Authority. Over the period of last, because of the meetings, limited, a couple of meetings missed here at council, I've got the report covering May and June. Overall, the activity with regard to the Steel Valley organization, I think the principal part of it is some of the needs for the financial considerations of the agencies not the agencies, but the authority. The Huntington Bank was awarded the depository for funds of the Transit Authority. Certificate was the deposit was negotiated with Chase Bank for a period of 5 years. I'm sorry, for a period of 2 years, and the depository was for a period of 5 years. During this period of time, there was from early May up to, and Charlene will discuss it, the levy that is pending for consideration in November election. And over that period of time, it was evaluated with regard to replacement or renewal. And after discussion, it was decided on the renewal approach with regard to presentation to the voters. And there was difficulty with regard to the replacement because of a legislation pending in Columbus, Ohio with regard to the issue of the replacement and renewal. And the end result is we decided to take the renewal because that legislation in Columbus was being considered for August of this year for possible passage if it would have passed. We want the replacement part of the levy. We would have had some difficulties in acquiring the support of the levy. So as a result, we had discussion, and the end results, Charlene will discuss that right after me. With regard to overall operation of Steel Valley, it's in good shape financially. Ridership in Wintersville in May and June has decreased. I think it's attributed basically to the school being out for the year and the summer months, but it's a minimal amount of loss. It'll I'm sure, improve in the near future when school starts again. With regard to Cross Creek and their consideration of providing a service for that community, a survey is being completed with regard to the utilization of the bus service by the people out there. And it's a big territory, and that's why the people out there to send a levy consideration to them for voting would be difficult. First of all, providing the service in such a big area. And I don't think the people out there, and the board don't believe that the people out there would pass a consideration for that levy. So it's going to be approached with regard to a different handling of the service, and that's pending at this time. With regard to the Adams Street location, the consulting firm that we've hired in Columbus, Ohio, has conducted core samplings at that property site, and the results is pending of a 90-day period to present the results of the core sampling. But initially, the core samplings look positive with regard to the ground area for future consideration by the the authority to utilize it for possibly some other benefit to the service. Overall, with regard to the operation, as I said before, it's in good shape. Other than that, it's doing well at this time, okay? Anything else?
Before Bob leaves, we also had a Seven Ranges Fire District meeting on Tuesday night.
Right.
And everything went well there. We did get an email today, Bob, about the audit that we had, and the only non-conformance we had over there at Seven Ranges was we didn't have a formal policy for record retention. Okay, so we was able to whip that up real quick. I think we had that as a violation here previously under I think Bob Gale's administration several years ago, but we just didn't have a piece of paper that says you're going to keep this paper for that long.
Right.
And that everything was outstanding. Very sound financial reporting is what they was calling us, and all monies was accounted for. And the only other issue we had is Mike Petrella said it earlier, you have to have money in the right fund, and we allocated some money into a specific revenue fund when it should have gone into a revenue, but into the general fund. But everything over there is running real well. The next meeting is September 11th at 7 o'clock over the 911 center. It's open to the public, but it's a great asset to the community, that Seven Ranges program.
Good. The only other thing, after that meeting, Rob made arrangements to bring in the brand-new ladder truck at the cost of the village of $1.7 million. And he indicated when this contract to purchase this piece of equipment was negotiated, in the past, maybe a couple of years at least, he indicated the cost about that time would be $700,000 to $800,000. It's a strange thing, though, as it's being built, the company can increase the cost of the item. And as a result, it's all the way up to $1.7 million. And that's like $9,000 a month that the Wintersville has to come up with to purchase the unit. He went over the whole unit. It's really a fantastic piece of property for the village. And so I think that Wintersville Fire Department is doing a great job in connection with Seven Ranges. Go ahead.
So the meeting started at 6:30. Normally it starts at 7, and Rob Harrington didn't show up to 7. The meeting was over at that point in time. So I skedaddled on out. When I come on out at the end of Fernwood, there was that fire truck over at the gas station, caddy corner by the little coffee thing. Oh, it was $1.7 million. I know what it looks like because it was incredible. All white, pristine, a real nice piece of equipment. And early on in the development of Seven Ranges, we got to zip around from each entity, Brilliant, Hillendale, and got to see their fire equipment. That fire equipment's only good for so many years and got to be so, up to certain standards. And you could see why it costs so much it costs. I mean, it's a real quality piece of equipment that they have there, and it's just a need. You just need it to be a proper first responder and keep your community safe. So they're doing a good job, and look forward to seeing the thing going up and down the parade maybe soon.
Paul Diardo is a voluntary fireman with the department, and he's got a real talent with regard to artistic capabilities, and he will be in a position to label this fire department piece of equipment, and would save several $1,000s, and he does an excellent job. But it's all white now, but eventually it will have everything updated with regard to Wintersville and all the necessary. It's an amazing piece of property. Equipment-wise, it's got all kinds of valves and compartments for storage of the equipment, the hoses. Prior to it, they went down, and as Rob and one of the other gentlemen went down to the manufacturing site, and went over and detailed as to the building of this piece of equipment. And because he indicated if you come back a little later, I want to change something, the cost is unbelievable. But it's, if you get a chance, ever to go over to the fire department and see this thing, and to see it going down the road, it's really well worth the investment and a real asset to the community and Seven Rangers. All set? Charlene will be next.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Locke.
Thanks.
Charlene?
Good evening, Mayor
Good evening.
and council members. I talked to the president earlier today, and she said that, as he was saying, Adams Street property, it's almost finished. So we'll know more about that probably next week. And we received a call, Still Valley, from Smithfield. They want transportation out that way. So I don't know how that's gonna go. And also about the levy, our legal spokesman, he already presented the first resolution necessity regarding how many meals we're asking for on the ballot. Renew 1.5 plus 5, plus 0.5. Okay, that's already been through the county auditors. We had a meeting yesterday with all board members, and we're going for the second resolution proceeded with putting the levy on the ballot. So we have to see what happens with that. And basically, section 5 was, it is found and determined that all formal actions of this board concerning and relating to the adoption of this resolutions were adopted in an open meeting of this board, and that all deliberations of this board and any of its committees that resulted in such formal actions were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. We had, it's 8 board members, we had sign each one of our signatures yesterday before we left to present this certification to see what happens next. And our main goal is to encourage people to vote yes for the levy. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlene. All right, next up, the mayor's report. Council to start. For BHJ, it would be for fiscal year 2025. They're asking for our dues, I believe, now of $1,130. So we would need a motion to stay in and approve the spending of that to belong to BHJ as well.
I'll put forth a motion to continue the relationship with BHD. They do a good job for us.
Second.
Mr. Merryman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Thank you. Next, just want to thank the Wintersville Women's Club. They donated a buckeye tree near our park here. George and Benny did a great job helping them install it, so we just want to thank them for that donation. Just want to thank everyone that helped and volunteered with Thunder in the Ville. There was a lot of people behind the scenes and a lot of sponsors. I'm not going to go through them all. IWS was the main sponsor. We appreciate them, and obviously Tom and Tammy Straka put in a lot of time and effort, and want to thank them. Thunderville was a huge success, even though the weather wasn't the greatest, but we had a lot of volunteers that helped out throughout the weekend and before and after, so thank everyone. Want to thank everyone. We did get the dog park open finally. July 1st, we had a small ribbon cutting. We kept it small so that we didn't have any dog fights back there, but everything went smooth, went well. Jesse's dog is, what's Jess, 16?
Yep.
16. I think that's the oldest dog we've had so far, so I know there's a lot of dogs out there right now, so it's getting a lot of use. Hopefully it all goes smooth. Last thing I have, citizens, we're getting a lot of complaints of speeding. So just so everyone knows, our police cannot be everywhere 24/7. They have a lot of calls, as you just heard. I'm not saying some things are a bigger priority than other things, but that is the truth at times. They're doing the best they can. We cannot put speed bumps all over the entire village. It's just not humanly possible. So we're trying our best. Like I said, I know we're getting a lot of calls and complaints. If you know anyone that's speeding, ask them to slow down. I'm sure from the sounds of it, it's certain people, and I think we're all guilty of it at times. Also, those of you that are trying to contact me via Facebook, I do not use Facebook constantly. So if you have an emergency and you need something, or you want the truth, or you want answers quicker, call my cell phone or text me. You can do that 24/7, 365 days of the year. It is 740-424-1975. It's way faster to call or text me to get a correct answer than trying to wait on a Facebook Messenger that I might not see for a few days. So that is all I have. I will turn it over to our administrator for his report.
Thank you, Mayor. In the water and sewer departments, right now in the water, we're down below about 200 services left to install for water meters for the new project. Right now, we're getting ready to go away from the credit card machines and go into a web-based portal through First National Bank, who we bank with. Yesterday, we looked at another third-party program through Ohio Software, who our meters will be going through the billing for online pay. We're kind of like deciphering which way we're going to go. For online pay, it's looking like the Ohio Software third-party app is what we're going to go with. And I'll get into more of that here in the next meeting. Census, who the meters are through, last month did some computer and electrical upgrades to their system, making sure everything's ready to go. So within the next 2 or 3 weeks, Census is going to start integrating with the meters, and we're going to get ready to turn this thing on live, hopefully within the next, I'm hoping, the 2 months. So the goal is people are calling, the girls in the front office are calling people to get people scheduled for installs. We have been doing Saturday installs. That's helped us out. We're getting 4 or 5 a day, which is helping out. So when we get down to the very end, and there's going to be people out there that are not going to want to call because they forget or they don't want to. I've talked with our solicitor. I've looked at I've talked with other municipalities on how to get people to get their meters and swapped out and installed and call. We can implement a fee of any price. I mean, not any price, but a price to where we can say, listen, if you don't call, get this scheduled, we're going to start imposing a fee because that meter is property of the village of Wintersville. And we need to have access at that meter at the times that we need access to it. So hopefully we don't have to go down that road. I don't want to do that. We just want to get this done and move on. But we are going to close out on the project here in the next couple weeks, but we're still going to do our installs. And then we can get this thing going. And then hopefully next month I'll have even better news about it. The sewer department, one thing we did last year was we replaced the the roof on the dry beds. That was a big cost. We got that done. Also, second thing is right now we're working on got about 160 feet of fence that's been ruined. It's just old and needs replaced, and we're slowly getting that done this summer. We appropriated money to have that completed. We had to move some tree limbs and stuff and some shrubs to get that done, but Fencing Unlimited is doing the work, and that'll be completed by the end of the summer. The AEDs. The AEDs should be installed within the next month on the second and third floor hallways. That's a good thing. Our new village policy and procedures that I've been working on with the company Align HR for the past 8 months. We're at the point now we're talking about job descriptions of every employee. So the police department, I gave the job descriptions to the chief and captain for them to look over, have their supervisors look over and change what needs changed. We're doing that with Public Works. And I had the fiscal officer, Melanie, look at our fiscal officer description. We're going to get that done and get that moved along. We have meetings about every 2 weeks on Zoom, so we're coming along with it. Still got a few months to go. Ferta, Morrow, and Chapel Hill, if you've probably seen on the news, we're at the point now where we have Ward and Elmer surveying out of New Philly. Are surveying the property on those 3 roads, so you will see them on Meadowbrook, Woodridge, around the Alice Land area, Eisenhower as well. You'll see them walking through yards. It's getting done by us. They have our authority to be there. So whenever that gets done, we'll move to the next part to have those roads dedicated to the village. It's been about a 1.5-year process for me, over 2 years for the mayor. So we're working to get that completed within the next couple months. And each row, I have about 4 residents on Ferta, Morrow, and Chapel that I've been in contact with in an email chain, just letting them know what's going on. They were sent letters last year on what was going to happen. So they're up to speed on what's going on, and also thank you to the news as well for helping us out there. Street and sanitation department, street signs are getting replaced and added throughout the village. Potholes have been repaired. We've got 4 catch basins that we're looking at to fix. I'm getting estimates on that, on what it's going to cost versus us doing it and the complexity of a couple of them. So I'll have those will get started here hopefully within the next couple weeks. Also, crack sealing on Main Street is going to get done. I followed up with the company out of Akron. They're going to get things rolling so we can get the equipment down here to get that done as well. Spring cleanup is done. I will have a breakdown on exactly how many tonnage we had collected this past month. The way it seems, it's going to be a record year because there was a lot of stuff every week, and it went on for anywhere between 1 to 3 days to get all this stuff collected. So, and one more thing, Ryan Gorby, who we hired last year for the street department, he was in the Air Force for 14 years, was in the academy when I hired him. His goal was to be a police officer. I can say that he has passed his academy test. He now got hired at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department as a school resource officer for John Gregg Elementary. So I'm glad to see him succeeded in his goals. He did ask if he could stay on part-time because he enjoyed working here. And that's all I have right now. Any questions?
Jesse, I got a question on the water and sewer, the online payment. Did I miss, how long, when do you expect the residents are going to have the ability to pay online the water and sewer?
As soon as we go live with the meters, as soon as we go live, hopefully within the next couple months, we'll be live. We'll be ready to go.
By the end of the year, most likely.
Oh, way before that. Yes.
Thank you.
I have 2 questions for you. You mentioned coordination across departments may involve outsourcing on some repairs, and that is speaking of the catch basins and also the crack seal. What, do we have money set aside for that?
Well, the crack seal, that's just a company that comes down, brings us the machine, we rent it, and we do the crack sealing
doing it
ourselves.
ourselves.
Yeah, we just have a company to do that, but some of the catch basins, depending on how involved they are, might need outside help, but outside help to help us, not necessarily do it all themselves. You know what I mean? The goal is to keep it in-house. That is my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal, when I had a meeting on Monday, was to have 2 guys within the village, between street water, wastewater, sanitation, however you want to call it, to do catch basins exclusively all day. That's my goal. And I'm tweaking that right now, and I'm working towards that. We're just kind of, we had a couple people leave, we hired another person, and that's just kind of where we're at right now. But my whole goal is to keep it in-house.
And last one, you mentioned the roofing on the dry beds in the sewer department.
Yes.
Didn't we use that to generate income at one time? That area down there, the dry beds for sewage?
Dry beds, you have to get rid of the sewage after. That's
Yeah,
why
did-
dry bed. There's
we
a
use-
small section that we can use. We discussed it before about bringing it outside.
Right, outside, people dumping.
Dump and then we
yeah,
clean it.
Yeah, that hasn't really.
Or we just put the roof on it for our benefit right
Yeah,
now?
for our benefit. So the whole point of that was with that roof was shot, so they put a metal roof on it last year. I was going to bring this up at the next meeting, but I'll bring it up now. So those dry beds, we currently have a company come in from, I think, Coshocton County. They come in, they spend about 4 days to collect all the dry bed, all the dry
Waste.
sewage, dry waste. It's about 330 tons. It's about $10,000 about once every 11 months. Well, myself and Teddy went out and met with a company in Caddis that kind of does the same thing. They're like biofuel. So if we could get a lower price, we could haul it ourselves with the old red medium dump we have at a rate of $25 instead of $29, which is going to save us. But the goal was to, yes, save us money, but then free up some real estate to where all those dry beds, we don't have to have them all filled. We can just take it as we want, take it out to Caddis in 20 minutes and be done with it. Ultimately, which will give us some space to put equipment in, because the sewage department doesn't really have garage space. The water department has a small building. So this is going to take care of it to where we can start storing stuff in the dry beds, which is already concreted, and all down that area is all garage doors. They haven't been opened and closed in probably 20 years,
Right.
but we can utilize that as well, and that's a big plus. So Teddy, the way it's looking, I'm waiting for the agreement. He's going to save us about $4,000, about $8,000 a year for 2 trips of what it would take in Coshocton County to come down here and do it. So
Is that where all our old water meters are currently stored?
actually, right now, they're all in the water department. They're stripping them down right now.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got one for you. So
Yes.
when we started these water meters, how long has this been going on for the transition to change to new?
They started October 11th of last year is when they started. And then after it came to the point where the plumber really didn't have a full day's work because people were calling in sporadically, we took over, which ultimately saved us about $50,000 from what we had to finish from April 9th until this point to when they're all in, will save us about $50,000. But that didn't include the meters that were above 1 inch that were not put into the bid. We had to pay for that ourselves. So we might break even on that a little bit. So that's kind of where we're at there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. Moving on. Unfinished business.
I have something for unfinished business. If we could, I would request that we go into executive session to discuss pending litigation.
I put forth a motion to go into executive session for pending litigation.
Oh, and in addition to that, if we could invite the mayor, the administrator, and the fiscal officer.
They're all invited.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone? Yay. Mr. DeStefano? Mr. Spence?
Yay.
For you guys.
I'd like to make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
All right, back to any other unfinished business.
One thing came up. Did we ever do anything with that hot patch machine?
No, it is
it-
still sitting over.
Because he had mentioned that we're trying to make room for equipment underneath
Yep,
the new
we will
roof.
put that on the, there's a government website now where we don't have to put stuff out to bid. We talked to the auditors about it, so we'll get that out.
Okay,
So
thank you.
We'll make a motion and ordinance and stuff, but
I got probably two things on unfinished business. Jesse, we talked earlier today about the new grass ordinance, and could you tell me how it's developed over on 172 Meadow on that guy? Are we making progress with that?
got them eating a Hershey bar there.
Yes, we are. I talked to the property owner. I talked to the complainant, the property owner. He said he's going to clean it up, and I told the complainant that if it's not, please let me know in a few days, and we'll get it done. So he was very happy about it.
Appreciate the efforts. Jake, I got a quick question for you. During the Seven Ranges meeting, they asked about the progress of a draft ordinance that Rob Harrington may have given you. Are you in a position to say anything about this, or you want to pass? or-
Yeah, we need to get that done, so it's kind of falling off my radar with everything we've been doing, but I will get that.
Everything going great? We just came out of here, yeah. We've been busy. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else for unfinished business?
Yeah, we spoke back months ago about like cars and yards. We ever figured anything for ordinance on that?
You guys gotta meet and vote if you guys want to change that.
All right.
That's on,
Thank you.
that's a council.
Council
that's
rules
a-
and
Yeah, I was gonna
ordinance.
say, that's a council, if you guys
Penny
want to
chairs it up.
change it.
Dr. Scarpone is the chair of the council rules and ordinances.
You guys want a meeting, call a meeting.
Schedule one.
All right. All right, anybody else for unfinished business? All right, moving on to new business.
I got a couple things, Mike. First of all, it's very, like to thank the commissioners. It's very, we're very happy to be considered, and it's very generous of them to give us that grant money there. It's greatly appreciated. We're really limited on what land we have that we can develop into recreational opportunities. And we just got to make sure that this money gets used in the right way from what limited properties we do have. And I can promise the commissioners and the county is all that this administration is going to do a great job of putting that money to proper use to make sure it's a recreational opportunity. So thanks again to Mr. Morelli and the rest of the council, the commissioners down there. It's greatly appreciated. It was a great Fourth. Mike might have said something about the weather not being the greatest, but the fireworks show really was. I had a golf outing out in East Springfield for the Judy Maple Foundation. It went off. It was very excellent. Came on home, and then we snuck on up to Kroger's to watch the fireworks show. It was spectacular. So great job by everybody involved on the fireworks show. It was just phenomenal, especially from the Kroger's parking lot. Also, I just caught wind the other day about the parade on Grandview, okay? And Rob Davis and his wife Judy Davis have been putting this thing on for years. And my daughter was only 4 or 5 when they first started this. The kids get on their tricycles or their wagons and they decorate and go up and down Grandview. And it's just absolutely exceptional to have the kids throw out candy to the adults. It was absolutely phenomenal. Other people involved in that are Janet and Casey Maxim. Janet's a teacher here at Indian Creek. Jim and Jen Bain. Seth and Bernie. Bernie's a teacher down there at Indian Creek. Coach Brandon Pendleton, he's a wrestling coach over there. And Dan and Mary Beth live at the end. Anthony and Cindy Cloris. Anthony used to be a business owner here in Wintersville, and he was on the Indian Creek School Board. And, of course, Rob and Judy Davis did an outstanding job. I'm telling you, It is just my daughter was involved with that when she was 5 years old, and to see the kids come up and down on their bicycle, throwing out some candy, it was their day. And they do a great job up there at Grandview. I just wanted to give a shout out to those. Thanks, that's all I got.
Thank you, Jason. Anybody else for new business? Quiet group. All right. Nobody's got anything. We already did the transfers. We would need a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Well, we're holding up on that.
I got a question on this. On page 3 of the payment listing, we have the Lincoln National Life Insurance. Looks like it's a dual payment for $1,818.
Yeah, I thought they came out ACH, and it hasn't got set up yet, so I just paid both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Once or twice? Just
Twice. It was a two payment. I thought we were ACH because everything,
Oh, okay.
all of our other insurance are ACH, and this one's the only one that's not. That's why there's two.
And then I have one question. What's the credit card member services for $17.94 and 2 cents? What's that? Doesn't really, just says credit card.
On page 4.
Page 4.
The credit card member, that's our credit card bill
Yeah.
statement, so that has multiple different people who have credit cards use it.
So what we're doing with the credit card is we're getting away from the ones we have, and we're going straight with a First National Bank credit card. And there's 4 people that will have it. It'll be myself, the chief, the captain, and I believe Rachel. We'll just have one credit card, not 2.
Yeah, 'cause
But those are paid off every month.
the First National Bank of Omaha is also a credit card, so both of those are credit cards, like
Thank you.
Amazon, for our Connect app is on there.
I have one last one. This Sunoco corporate card fuel, don't we have our own fuel?
Yeah, so that was the last payment
Okay.
before we had to switch over.
All right. That's all I have.
And we'll keep that open as a reserve if something happens to our pumps, so we're active.
I believe somebody already made a motion to accept them.
I did.
You didn't? I'll second it.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Our next meeting will be Thursday, August 1st, 2024 at 7 p.m. This meeting is adjourned.